Hello, sir. I'm Sam Melvin, 19MIS1106. I would like to speak on the topic cyber attacks. So, what is cyber attack? Cyber attack is a malicious and deliberate attempt of an individual organizing or individual or organization to breach the information system of another individual or organization. Usually, the attacker seeks some type of benefit from disrupting the victim's network. Basically, cyber attack is a malicious or deliberate attempt of breaching the information or confident, like specifically confidential information from an individual or other organizations like companies, businesses, databases, etc., for a specific purpose. So there are some cyber attacks which I would like to speak upon. How often do cyber attacks occur? So there is a hacker attack every 39 seconds, and a school named Clark study at University of Maryland is one of the first to quantify the near constant rate of hacker rates attacks of computers with internet access every 39 seconds on average. Like what they're saying is there is a college Clark school study at the University of Maryland. Like they studied the University of Maryland has taken a study, and in that they have inferred like every 39 seconds an American is getting attacked by a hacker, so affecting 1 in 3 Americans every year. And the non-secure usernames and password we use that attackers can more successful. Like the attackers can be more successful when we use non-secure passwords and usernames. For example, the attacker can simply just use a dictionary attack with these things. What is dictionary attack? Like trying many combinations of letters and words. For example, when you give a like more basically in like in families, the router's password, internet router's password will be either router 123 or the brand name like Tata, BSNL, Airtel, like that, or 129, like that. Sometimes they can give password as a password itself. So these are the this will be very easy for the hackers to breach and attack the information, like attack the network. So the password must at least contain of 12 letters, 12 characters with letters and like alphabets, numericals and alphabets. So there is a study conducted like how much year will take to do a dictionary attack on a 16 letter password. So it takes nearly a million year to complete the crack the password. So how far, like when we are using a large password, it will be very good enough for it will be very safe. 43% of cyber attacks target small businesses. 64% of companies have experienced web-based attack. 43% like mostly they target on small business because the security will be very low for the small business and startups, like websites like say for example like any website like what to say, logistic websites or something. So these are small businesses will be having a less security, so the attacks will be happening more often in that. 64 companies percent of companies are experiencing web-based attacks. 62% web-based attacks means like using SQL query injection or something using web pages. 62% experienced phishing and social engineering attacks. Phishing and all will be explained in the further slide. 59% of companies experience malicious code and botnets, and these terminologies will be explained in the further presentation. 51% experience denial of service attacks. Yeah, there are these are the attacks which will be happening more often, and this will be explained in upcoming slides. Cybersecurity is now a global priority as cybercrime, and digital threats grown in frequency and complexity. However, one of the major obstacles of to preventing cybercrime is cybersecurity workforce shortage, lack of new professionals funneling into this industry. So cybersecurity is happening more often. As the study conducted, it says that every 1 in 3 Americans are getting attacked by hackers, and it is due to weak passwords. Not it is not not making confidentials, and saying everything to the internet. So it will also be a very big headache uh, for the person if they undergo any attacks like this. So this industry is growing industry, and this there is a shortage in workforce. Like there are there are like not more people are there in this industry, and not new professional. If there are many professionals, they can figure out some possible solution to rectify this problem. According to the cybersecurity jobs report, there will be approximately 3.5 million unfilled cybersecurity job in 2001. So what they are saying is there will be 3.5 million unfilled cybersecurity jobs. Means the job for cybersecurity is much needed. So it will be a big scope when we study it. So since there are many companies and websites, so it is must to have security for it to does not undergo any breach. But at the same time, incidents of global subcrimes are expected to climb the 6 trillion annually during the same year. The cyber attacks may become 6 trillion, which is a large number, and it can cause a very bad impact on economy and other things. So since it targets on small business, an effective company or a solution has to be started to take this in serious context. Why do people launch cyber attacks? Criminally motivated attackers seek financial gain through money theft, data theft, or business description. Likewise, the personally motivated, such as disgruntled current or former employees, will take money and data companies and stuff. Like it can one can be criminally motivated. There will be some black hat hackers who will be in need for data and money, will be doing this, and others, the ex-employees or some personal vengeance guys, like if they have, they will also try to hack the systems. However, they primarily seek retribution. Socio-political motivated attackers seek attention to their causes. Some socio-political motivators, like for say, for example, there is an attack held on Indian Navy, like stating the ISS have attacked, cyber attacked the Indian systems, and stating that to release some terrorists. And this also, it is a socio-political motivate, like attackers. They try to get the attention of Indian government. So this is an example why people do attacks. Other cyber attack motivation includes espionage, spying to gain unfair advantage over companies, spying, espionage, or some examples where the unfair attacks will be happening. Types of cyber attackers. Cyber attackers broadly fall under two categories: those that pose threats to business from outside of organization, and those who present risk. So there are two types of cyber attackers. One will be from the outside the business organization. One other will be the inside business organization. First, we'll see what is inside us. Anyone with physical or remote access to the organization assets can open up to cyber security risk. Physical or remote access, like if they are if the person who works in a certain company has like wants to do an attack due to some personal vengeance, if he is accessible to any data centers or anything, it will be hectic. It will be in risk. Or remote access to organization assets like router, etc., etc., will be has to be considered. So trusted, for example, trusted employees accidentally misplacing information, careless employees remisses policies and procedures, disgruntled employees or ex-employees intent on damaging your business. This is more often will be held in, like, in India. It is more often held. because of this vengeance. Malicious insiders with legitimate access to critical systems and information. Um, some person will do for some fun, or will get money from some other company and do like that and all will be there. Business part, there are, these are some examples, like who will be doing these kinds of works: business partners, clients, suppliers, contractors with access to business critical access, present insider threat to cybersecurity. So the person who are inside the organization will may have more chance of doing these kinds of activity. Outsiders, external cybersecurity that can come from variety of sources, including organized criminals, professional hackers, amateur hackers. Organized criminal, like there are some companies who target taking monies from by hacking, and professional hackers like white hat, gray hat. White hat and all legally approved. Gray hat and black hat and all these are malicious guys who will attack for money and data thefts. Amateur hackers who are starting to learn hacks may accidentally or knowingly or unknowingly may happen to hack your system. Why cybersecurity is important? In order to manage a cyber risk, regardless of its source, you should fully understand the range of motivation behind possible attacks. You should also know where and how to report a cybercrime if it happens to your business. So you should be knowing how to report and how to handle a cybercrime if it happens. Like say for example, if you have a company and unfortunately hacker hacks the data, and you should know how to act and how to retrieve or how to stop it and all. Cybercrime can potentially seriously disrupt and damage your business. So data leak is a uh, very, very bad thing, and it can also cause heavy damage to the business. Like money will only not cause any damage, like breaching of money. Data also it is like gold. It is more than money. As well as commercial losses and compromised reputation attacks can be exposed to the business. Regulatory actions and negligence claim, inability to meet contractual obligations, loss of trust among customers and suppliers. These are the things will happen when a cyber attack is done. So we are coming to our main part. So what is botnet? A botnet is a short form for a robot network. It is a network of computers infected by malware. What is malware? Malware is a malicious software which infects the computer that are under control of a single attacking party known as bot header. Each individual machines under the control of bot header is known as a bot. From one central point, the attacking party can command every computer on its botnet to simultaneously carry out coordinated criminal action. So botnet is a uh, network of malware affected computers. It is headed by bot header, and he gives a command and it acts upon it. It also does the criminal actions also. The scale of botnet, many compromised of millions, enables the attacker to perform large-scale actions that were previously impossible with malware. So previously with malware, it is impossible to do it in large scale. But after this botnet, like after imposing injecting a malware into a system, it becomes a bot, and the network of bots forms a bot network, and it is controlled by bot header. Since botnets remain under control of a remote hacker, infected messages can receive updates and change the behavior on the fly. As a result, bot headers are often able to rent access to segments of their botnet on blank market for significant financial gain. So it can be the attacker can possibly on camera or can send money whenever he wants. So it acts upon the fly. In the sense, whenever the botnet gets an update from the bot header, it acts upon it. So whatever the criminal activity he says, the system does it. Common botnet actions: email spam. Through email, email is seen today as an older vector for attack. Vector is carrier. Spam botnets are some of largest in size. They are primarily used for sending out spam messages, including malware, in turning members from each bot. The Cutwhale botnet, for example, can send up 74 billion messages per day. They're also used to spread bots to recruit more computers to botnet. So botnet is a network of bots where bot is a malware affected machine. So it sends spam mails, and in spam mail it sends the malware which recruits new bots to the botnet community. So what is DDoS attack? DDoS attack leverages the massive scale of botnet to overload target network with server requests rendering inaccessible to intent users. DDoS attacks target organizations, personnel, and political motive. So DDoS attack is attack done on an internet with overwhelming requests sent by the botnets, which is controlled by bot header. Common botnet actions. Financial breach includes botnets specifically designed for the direct theft of funds and from enterprises and credit card information. Financial botnets like the Zeus botnet have seen responsible attacks involving billions of dollars stolen directly from multiple enterprises in a short period of time. Financial, the botnets, using botnets, the bot header takes money from organization or individuals, then this is known as financial breach. Targeted intrusions. Smaller botnets designed to compromise specific high-value systems of organizations from which attackers can penetrate and intrude further into the network. The instructions are extremely dangerous to organizations as attackers specifically target their most valuable asset, including financial data, research, development, intellectual property, and customer information. So common cyber attacks. Malware. Malware is a system used to describe malicious software, including spyware, ransomware, viruses, and worms. Malware breaches a network through vulnerability. Typically, when a user clicks on a dangerous link or email attachment, that then installs a risky software. Once inside the system, malware can do any of the following: block access to key components of the networks, ransomware, install malware and additional harmful software, convertly obtains information by transmitting data from the hard drive spyware, disrupts certain components and renders the system inoperable. For in creation of bots, malware is the key thing to do. So the attacker sends malware first to create a bot. Phishing. Phishing attacks the practice of sending fraudulent communication that appear to be come from a reputable source. Like for example, if I'm pretending to be a VIT organization and sending to email to you, and you also think that it is sent from VIT and you act upon it. So this is phishing. It is usually done through email. The goal of steal sensitive data like credit card and log information or install malware and victims phishing. Phishing is a common type of cyber attack that everyone should learn about it in order to protect themselves. Man in the middle attack. Man in the middle attack is also known as eavesdropping attacks. Occurs when attackers insert themselves into two-party transaction. Once the attackers enter the traffic, they can filter and steal data. Two common points of entry for man in the middle attack. On unsecure public Wi-Fi, attackers can insert themselves between visitor device and the network. Without knowing, the visitor passes all information through the attacker. Once malware has breached the device, attacker can install software to process the information. So by these two things, man in middle attack can be happen. DDoS in elaborate form. It is a distributed denial of service attack. It's a malicious attempt to disrupt the normal traffic of a targeted service or a network by overwhelming the target by surrounding infrastructure with flooded internet traffic using botnets. DDoS attacks achieve effectiveness by utilizing multiple compromised computer system source of a traffic. Exploited machines are the bots. Machines can include computers and other network resources such as IoT device. From high level, a DDoS attack is like an unexpected traffic jam, clogging the highway, regular traffic arriving at its destination. SQL injection. SQL injection is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to interfere with the queries that an application makes into database. It generally allows an attacker to view the data that are not normally to be retrieved. This might include data belonging to other users or other data that application itself is able to access. In many cases, an attacker can modify or delete this data, causing a persistent changes to applications, content, and behavior. In some situations, an attacker can escalate an SQL injection attack to compromise the underlying server or other back-end infrastructure to perform denial of service attack. DNS tunneling. DNS tunneling usually utilizes the DNS protocol to communicate non-DNS traffic over port 53. It sends HTTP and other protocol traffic over DNS. There are various legitimate reasons to utilize DNS tunneling. However, there are also malicious reasons to use DNS tunneling VPN service. They can be used to distinguish outbound traffic as DNS, concealing data that is typically shared through internet connection. For malicious use, DNS requests are manipulated to exfiltrate data from a compromised system to the attacker's infrastructure. It can also be used for command and control callbacks from the attacker's infrastructure to compromise the system. How do we prevent cyber attacks? Preventing a breach of your network and its system requires protection against a variety of cyber attacks. For each attack, the appropriate countermeasure must be deployed, used to deter the exploiting a vulnerability or weakness. The first line of defense for any organization is to access and implement security controls. Why do you prevent cyber attacks? It is the most important things to know. Some of the most common ways to prevent cyber attack include developing cybersecurity policies, implementing security awareness training, installing spam filters and anti-malware software, deploying next generation firewalls, installing endpoint detection and response. So these are the things has to be done when cyber attack has happened. So thank you for this opportunity. Thank you.